Mr. President, family members of the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, friends, today we mourn the loss of the country's first Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. I've been a grassroots leader in Tanjong Pagar constituency for 39 years. I'm privileged to be able to stand here today to pay tribute to Mr. Lee Kuan Yew. I consider him my leader and my friend. His departure not only is a loss for the country, but also a deep personal loss for myself. Having worked closely with him for so many years, I have developed a profound respect and admiration of Mr. Lee. I now wish to share with you some stories of my encounters with him, with this great man throughout these years. Back in the early days, in Chinese New Year celebration would kick off with lighting of firecrackers and follow with singing of the national anthem. And at a particular case, when the firecrackers has been lit, but they never go off. Getting a bit impatient, the MC decided to carry on and play the national anthem. But the moment that started, the firecracker went off loudly. So it sounded very funny at that time, but Mr. Lee was not amused at all. He told us later that if we can't even do these things right, how do we run the country? The incident showed us how serious he was about all things concerning Singapore and how he always expected us to do our best. Mr. Lee cared for his people. As at a Tanjong Pagar Family Day function, we had set up a stage for the day's activities. The key officials were sitting on the stage, and the residents were sitting in front of the stage. The place was hot and sunny. Mr. Lee noticed that the residents are perspiring. And he turned around and asked, "What are we going to do about it now?" He was always thinking about the people, and he expected us to put all the interests, our interests above, should not put our interests above the residents. At constituency dinner, Mr. Lee liked to sit with grassroots leaders so that he could talk to them. We have always been arranging the sitting such that his old friends would be seated en route to his table. It would take him some time to get to his table, as he would stop by to speak to every familiar faces. When Mr. Lee heard that the old friends were doing well, his face would light up with pride. Even though Mr. Lee is no longer with us, his legacy is something that we Singaporeans will always remember